Hello, I know many of you have not met me or do not know me, so I wanted to take a second to explain who I am and what I did here. I founded Purple RP several years before I met Snow with another streamer. We did it to make roleplay servers we could enjoy from time to time on random variety games. Eventually, when I stopped playing with that streamer, I was given full control of this Discord and Purple RP. I had been on a break from roleplaying and was very excited about potentially starting again on GTA, though knowing I wanted more control to make decisions behind the scenes, as every server I had been a part of in the past had admin power abusing admins among other issues. I needed a lot of support staff to make this possible, so I started looking. I probably messaged 50-ish people inquiring about developers and scanning random forums for potential before messaging a friend Hazard. He pointed me towards Snow, and we started working shortly after on a DayZ server and other projects. The server went well, but it went as well as you'd expect a DayZ roleplay server to go. Things like DayZ are usually temporary roleplay servers, they come and go, and once it was time for DayZ to end we needed something else to do. I ended up finding us an opportunity at TRP. The deal was LD bring developers, and in turn I'd be given partial ownership, and we'd improve the server with numbers, player count, and development, Snow, Axie, etc. We did as we promised, yet I was never given partial ownership, so after months we decided to split and seek full control in our own project, reviving Purple RP and starting a 2-year-long development process that would lead us where we are now. We had a rather infamous Discord call between us where we discussed money prior to launch. I explained that this project would eventually make a lot of money, and if anyone wanted some of that money, now was the time to ask 4% cuts. Snow wanted to be a co-owner and wanted 50% for his time and effort. The others did not want money at the time. I agreed with Snow and elevated him to co-owner, and we verbally agreed on 50/50ths with the addition we would speak after launch to re-evaluate this and put it into writing. The intention was to run the server as a council. Run/Nika were brought on as owners and given projects to work on to help get the server going. Cops, DOJ, etc. While not perfect human beings, they were willing to work for free and with some level of passion, and so having known me for years, they seemed perfect for the job. In short, my role was founding the server, funding the 2 years of development, finding the developers, and paying Snow what I could. I am not penta rich, while leveraging my position and years of Twitch connections to get activity going. With some lore posted, I would then also like to explain my inactivity. As you probably know, I was active during server launch, however it became clear quite quickly to me that decisions related to development, which was supposed to be between the owners, was really only going to be Snow making those decisions. Things like the giant Fingal statue I disagreed with and did not want on the server. I had intended development of our server not to pander to large streamers entirely, but rather focus the community as a whole. While Chief is funny and I enjoy his stream, I didn't like the look it was giving us. Realizing I had effectively no control over development, I became detached and stopped showing up on the server. It was turning into something I wasn't enjoying, yet I was told several times by Snow that it was going great and people loved the direction. So I became silent and allowed Snow to work uninterrupted by my opinions. Though I did repeatedly tell him to bring things to my attention that he needed help with, like PR, considering his second language English can get him into trouble sometimes. I never received much from Snow in way of asking for help, though I did continue to do my job of leveraging my position to invite other creators into our server. Eventually Snow pulled me into a meeting one day to demand 35% of my cut and sole ownership of the project. It was not a negotiation, it was very aggressive threats and demands. I was told very specifically that if I did not do this, he with Penta would go and make another server and take the codebase with them. Penta claims he made a money offer towards me, but I honestly cannot recall if that is true or not, though I don't think ID turned down 200k for a roleplay server. But I was not sober when this ambush took place, and I did my best, considering after this I began to investigate the accounts with other owners, and we saw large sums of money being withdrawn at increasing frequency. This was very concerning, so we had another meeting after this with him to discuss that. I and the other owners were under the impression Snow was stealing, and when confronted he denied that. We demanded that any excess money he paid himself out be returned, and he told us he would not do this 3 to 5 times. We explained how serious this was, yet he persisted that he would not be sending any money back to the business account. With no options and the true belief that he was stealing, I did what little I could and contacted my lawyers after kicking him out of the Discord. We eventually worked it out and came to some agreement to fix whatever issues we had, or so I was told and thought. During this time I had a full faith belief Snow was stealing from us. He believed he was the sole reason this server existed. It wasn't enough to make more money than me, have all the control and pander to whatever stream he wanted to at any time, he also had to have my share too. My profits in this server are very little compared to what Snow has made, and while it will take me a little bit of time to compile the payments, I will be publishing them as soon as I have them compiled so that you can see where the money has went. Snow has made the lion's share and I have barely broken even from my previous monetary investment into the server. Axie was full-time development for over 2 years while we worked up until launch and has never made a penny. Nika has made no money either, only refunded costs, and same with Runwild. My greatest crime was being inactive, but I never did anything to actively ruin this server. I didn't even prompt all of this, Snow did by dragging me into a call months ago to threaten me and demand my money and position. Side note. The Discord, my prior announcement. I did not delete any channels, I only stopped the hateful flow of messages while I sorted everything out. My prior announcement was incorrect as well. Due to dealing with people doxing me, threatening to swat me and trying to break into my accounts, I was unable to post this as soon as I wanted to. Due to Snow and Penta platforming this to their thousands of viewers, I am currently under a very serious attack by their dedicated fan bases. rpclipz is suspended while I sort everything out. Once I've properly compiled the payments, I will also post additional information.